The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Antonio stepped onto the crystalline platform, his boots echoing against the transparent floor that overlooked a swirling nebula below. Representatives from 47 species observed the human with varying degrees of curiosity, their translators humming softly as they prepared for the integration briefing. Commander Zexathar, a towering Velcrin with iridescent scales, reviewed the datapad before him and froze. His three eyes blinked in rapid succession, a sign of confusion among his kind. "There must be an error in the translation matrix," Zexathar announced, his voice resonating through the chamber. "This human's biological age reading shows 217 standard cycles." Antonio smiled, the expression crinkling the corners of his eyes in a way that somehow made him look both ancient and youthful. "No error, Commander. That's accurate." A ripple of whispers spread through the assembly. Vanessa, Antonio's second-in-command, stood at attention beside him, her own age of 193 years barely showing in her steady posture and alert gaze. The Quellon ambassador, a being of pure energy contained within a crystalline lattice, pulsed with orange confusion. "But humans are Class C biologicals. Your species averages 80 to 90 cycles. This is impossible." "Was impossible," Vanessa corrected politely. "Until we figured it out." Antonio gestured to the assembled aliens, his movements carrying the easy confidence of someone who had seen empires rise and fall. "Around 2157, humanity cracked the longevity code. We didn't just extend life. We fundamentally altered our relationship with aging. Most humans now live anywhere from 300 to 500 years, some even longer. The Drathian representative, whose species lived for merely 30 years but reproduced at an incredible rate, leaned forward with interest. "And yet you choose to remain in military service? When do you retire, human Antonio?" Antonio's laugh filled the chamber, a deep, genuine sound that seemed to catch everyone off guard. Vanessa smiled slightly, recognizing the reaction her commanding officer always had to this question. "Retire?" Antonio echoed, still chuckling. "Sir, I've died 4 times in service to humanity and the Galactic Coalition. Each time they've brought me back, patched me up, and sent me where I was needed most. Retirement isn't really in my vocabulary." The chamber erupted in shocked exclamations and demands for clarification. Zexathar raised one clawed hand for silence. "Explain," the Velcrin commander ordered. Vanessa stepped forward. "Human medical technology didn't stop at longevity, Commander. We developed consciousness transfer protocols, cellular regeneration at the quantum level, and memory preservation techniques. When Antonio says he died, he means complete biological death. Twice in combat, once in a ship decompression, and once from radiation exposure during the Kepler station incident. Each time," Antonio continued, "they pulled my neural pattern, my memories, everything that makes me me, and installed it in a new body, cloned from my own DNA, grown in weeks rather than years, and ready for duty. The body you see now is technically my 5th. The Quellon's lattice flickered rapidly, their equivalent of stammering. "But the philosophical implications, are you still you? The continuity of consciousness is perfectly intact," Antonio interrupted gently. "I remember my first death like it was yesterday, because to my consciousness, it was a continuous experience. There's no gap, no missing time. One moment I'm bleeding out on Arcturus 7th, the next I'm waking up in a medbay with the same memories, same personality, same terrible jokes that drive Vanessa crazy." "They really are terrible," Vanessa confirmed with mock solemnity. The Drathian representative's antennae quivered. "And you choose to continue fighting? After experiencing death multiple times? Why not retire and enjoy your extended lifespan?" Antonio's expression grew serious, the humor fading from his eyes. "Because someone has to stand on that wall. Someone has to be willing to face the darkness so others don't have to." I've had 2 centuries to figure out who I am, what I'm good at, and what matters to me. This matters. He gestured to Vanessa. We've trained for over a century and a half. We've learned from every conflict, every first contact, every negotiation gone wrong. We've forgotten more about combat and diplomacy than most species ever learn. Why would we waste that experience? Vanessa nodded. Humans discovered something profound when we conquered aging. That purpose matters more than years. Some of us choose art, spending centuries mastering skills. Some choose science, building on their own discoveries across lifetimes. We chose service. Zexthar set down his datapad, regarding the 2 humans with new respect. Your species continues to surprise us. We thought we understood humanity when you joined the Coalition 50 years ago. Brave, aggressive, adaptable, but this is humanity optimized, Antonio said. We took our greatest weakness, our short lifespan, and turned it into irrelevance. We've become something new, something the galaxy hasn't seen before. Soldiers who can learn from centuries of experience, who can afford to take the long view, who've made peace with mortality because we've already faced it and won. The Quelon pulsed with contemplative purple light. And if you fall again? Antonio's smile returned, sharp and confident. Then they'll scrape my consciousness from whatever's left, spin up body number 6, and I'll be back in action within a month. I've got at least another 2 centuries of service in me, probably more. The question isn't when I'll retire, Ambassador. The question is, what challenge I'll face next. Vanessa added, Humanity didn't reach for the stars to take it easy. We reached for them because that's where the work is, where the meaning is. The assembly sat in contemplative silence, processing this revelation. These weren't just human soldiers standing before them. They were something unprecedented in galactic history. Warriors who had transcended the limitations of flesh, who carried the accumulated wisdom of centuries, and who chose to continue standing watch despite having earned their rest 100 times over. Finally, Zexthar stood, offering the formal salute of the Velkrin, a gesture of profound respect. The Council welcomes you, humans Antonio and Vanessa. We are honored to serve alongside you. As the other representatives followed suit, Antonio caught Vanessa's eye and winked. She suppressed a smile. After all, they had time.